This is the National World War I Museum in Kansas City, Missouri.
We are on top of the tower. We are 250 feet in the air, looking at downtown Kansas City, Missouri.
This is one of the Sphinx outside the museum, and they call this one Memory, and it covers its face, and it's looking towards the battlefield and trying to forget all the horrible memories that took on there. This is the other Sphinx. It's called Future, and it's looking west, and it's also covering its face, so because it does not know what the future holds. This is right when we walked into the museum. There's a bridge over 9,000 poppies, and each poppy stands for 1,000 soldiers that died in the war, which equals 9 million.
This is the Bavarian spiked helmet. It was used by the Germans during World War I. It is possibly the most well-known helmet of its time.
This is E.R.L. Fowler's 45 caliber Colt automatic pistol, and that's his belt he wore in his holster for his gun. These are 400 and down there too, 30 names of men that died in the war. And there's one woman, and she was a nurse, and she died from an illness on the battlefield.
This is a French semi-automatic gun with a range of 3,700 meters. It shoots projectiles about a foot long.
And they would use these to stop the invasions of large amount of troops. And they would have one man manning the gun, and he would just... this tank right here is a German 77mm artillery tank, and it was shot near France. You can see the hole over there where it was hit. This is a replica of one of the motorcycles they would use over there. Medics would ride them around to get to injured soldiers, and they were for dispatched riders.
This is a Russian revolver made in 1895. It was 7 shots, and it was one of the earliest guns produced by the Russians.
This is some of the soldiers' personal effects from the war. There's a canteen down there, and there's a rosary. His knife is that's for cooking over a fire. His utensils, his playing cards, and his cigarettes.
Here we are looking at some just artillery used in that time. Right here we see a high capacity airdrop bomb. Up there, a thing with like swirly bottom. Okay, stop.
This is a U.S. Navy uniform, and that is a machine gun, and that's the Navy's insignia right there. These are the pilots in the Army, and they flew planes over towns and dropped bombs, and those are up there are the goggles they would have worn, and here's a portrait of one of the pilots.
This is a U.S. shelter half tent. It was carried around by U.S. soldiers, and it's so small so that they can just pick it up and leave whenever.
This is a Ford Model T truck that was used in the war to transport troops and supplies, and the medics would pick up the soldiers to where they needed to go.
These are just some everyday grenades that were used during the war. Some examples were flash and smoke, and these down here, they were shot out of the rifle like that, and there were just various types. These are some German shoulder straps that would be placed on their uniform to show what rank each German soldier was.
These are some different bayonets that were put on the soldier's gun. You screw them to the end of your gun, and they're used for close combat, and you stab people with them. And then up here are knives and swords that the soldiers would carry on their person, like in their shoe or somewhere like that.
These are medals showing what rank or class you are. These are Canadian tags, and these are for nurses and just to show that you're a medic. As you can see, there are various different classes that you could occupy. This is a German torpedo. It was shot out of German U-boats, and it shot at a rate of 29 knots.
And it was used to sink different ships.
This is a German new model heavy trench mortar. It shot 970 meters, and it shot these huge, just massive.
These are some of the gas masks they would wear, and this was the first war where they started to use gases that would kill you, like mustard gas and Nova gas. And these are there's a British one and there's a Russian one up there. This is an example of a trench they would have, and the trenches were very dangerous because they could shoot down on you, and because they were very filthy and disease spread quickly through them. There was also 35,000 miles of trenches on the battlefields.
What we are looking at is an Italian 6-shot revolver, 10.35 millimeter and it was used by the Italians. This is a German revolver model 1879, and this is a French military rifle, and it was model 1940.
We are here in Memorial Hall, and there's a bunch of different paintings around, and we found this one pretty cool. This is called the Gold Star painting. See that gold star down at the bottom? It was for the mothers who their sons died in the war, and there's a skeleton figure in the back of the painting, and he's cutting a thread, and it's the thread of life, showing that he died in the war, and his mother's grieving for him.
Fields. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place. And in the sky, the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow.